Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Xbox the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Potato Chief, and I'm here with my good friend.
Me, Alice.
So, welcome to the number one Xbox podcast hosted by a Welshman and his Scottish friend. So,
And the Cornish friend you mentioned of is recorded on the 17th of August, which is also my birthday today. Same birthday as Robert De Niro.
Happy birthday! Woo! We're going to talk more about that later on in the episode as well, but happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is being recorded a little bit earlier, and we're going to try and keep it within an hour because you've got things to do today, so which is understandable completely. So,
Yeah, my birthday's packed.
So we're going to start off with what we always start off with, what we've been playing. So, what have you been playing this week?
Just dipping my finger in pies. It's just, I've been grinding on like paladins to like, I've been trying to work on the Ruby crossover pass, which I got to maximum level, and I've already completed all the trials level 1 before there's a Constellations update, which means there's going to be a Starforge pass which is going to deliver 2 more skins. But hopefully I've got enough crystals for that, because I use crystals to buy more skins on it, so it just shows like how much like I went from like skeptical over this game to like fully appreciating this game. I find this is really a nice alternative to Overwatch, but then I don't know. I might come back to Overwatch like with Overwatch 2, and they'll probably like bring things like cross progression. But I'll be like sticking with the Paladins as an alternative for a wee bit while. But speaking of which, Halo Infinite. Been grinding to get the Knife Dancer Pfizer because of the crossover Pfizer thing, so it's nice to have a purple Pfizer with me. And now I'm just working for this yellow coating for the Mark 7 armor.
Yeah.
I just thought it's quite really interesting. It's got a bit of white accents around the helmet, and there's quite a nice yellow to it. It looks like a basic color, but then again, I think it's worth like keeping and going for it just to see if it goes cross-score. But I think what others may probably like be a bit ticked about is I purchased more packs this time because I got a gold armor set, which I think everyone should have that by now, unless you hate Halo Infinite's microtransactions thing. And there's also there's a Pfizer which just has a triangle thing. Didn't go for it in the end, but I did get some like special shoulder pads, and I think that's what I mentioned last week. But this week, there's some really good things. Like, it's this weapon that Master Chief holds. You can get emblems of her, like, flexing her bicep. And it was like one of those World War One poses, or was it World War Two poses? I don't know. It's just quite cute. And I was going to hesitate to get a chrome coatings pack, but I went for it in the end because I'm making the gamble that if 343 Industries are going to introduce cross-core coatings with the Spartans, then I might as well get that and see if I can get a shiny chrome thing on the Spartans. Otherwise, it'll be stuck with Eagle Strike. Either way, the assault rifles looks good. Apart from that, they brought back the Pepsi can coating pack this week, and there's a I think it was the magma thing on the feet. But so far, you cannot easily view it unless you like buy it on Halo Infinite. So, but yeah, it's a bit an interesting week. And as according to Sean W, it's like the cheapest shop this week because all the prices are below 1,000 credits. So, might worth checking a look. But there's some more bits there. Fall Guys, I played the Sonic Adventure thing like last weekend. I played enough of it to like get Sonic Speed Shoes. Apart from that, you have another chance to get Sonic the Hedgehog skins in Goontails and Eggman.
Yeah.
I've also like reinstalled Fortnite, and there's this Dragon Ball Z collaboration. Well, it's actually Dragon Ball Super because you get like 4 skins, Goku and Vegeta. Yeah. And there's this really interesting mode where you can just hop on the ferry, like in this Dragon Ball Super, and you get to watch Dragon Ball Super on a big screen. So I just installed that and hopefully get some like nice rewards with it.
So random, I love it. With Halo, you did mention also the entrenched events back this week, isn't it? So I'm going to do
Yes.
that. I was going to do that later. Yeah, so I haven't played Fortnite yet. The fact that they got Dragon Ball Z, it's hilarious. They've pretty much got everything on there now, isn't it? Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. They had Halo on there, God of War. It's ridiculous. I love it. But it
It
is
doesn't
pretty
have
ridiculous.
Bleach. It doesn't have Bleach, the manga.
No, yeah.
It doesn't have Ruby, and
I,
I think
it's
there's some
just a matter of
some other
time.
franchises they don't have yet. Like
John
I don't
Wick's
think
on
they
there.
have Game of Thrones.
Speaking of Game of Thrones crossover, Multiverses is again what I've been playing. But I'm still using Shaggy. I haven't stopped using Shaggy. Shaggy's just too OP. I love it. He's just badass. And I got yeah, I've got he's got like a kung fu outfit, so I've got that now. He looks like Bruce Lee, which is really weird, but I love it. And I've got the season pass for it as well, so I've been playing a lot of that. But what I have been playing is Batman Arkham City. I don't know why, I just fancied playing a superhero game. And I was like, because everyone's playing Spider-Man PC, and it's like, well, I've already got the platinum of that on PlayStation, so I'll play another superhero game. So I was like, oh, Arkham, I'll play some Arkham again. I've already played through Arkham City back in the day, but this is the re-release for Xbox One, and it's kind of fun. It holds up really well for what it for you know. It's a classic game and it does hold up really well. I'm currently on the Catwoman missions, so they're quite fun as well.
Well, I got the Arkham Asylum back in 2009, and it was around the
Yeah.
time I was graduated from university. I just got
Oh,
that
frozen.
and got a platinum for it, and I just felt it's like a really nice stealth game. Arkham City
Yeah.
is just like takes this gameplay into the open world, but I haven't got round
Yeah.
to it. I think I was a bit stingy over the achievements because I think one of those achievements you have to play the game on a specific date in order to meet up with the calendar man, and that's where you get achievement for. But I think the more years pass by, the less shits I give about it.
Oh, right, I've never done that one. That's interesting. I'll have to look into that achievement. Yeah, I played it before on the 360 back in the day. I completed it back in the day, but I obviously haven't. I've just started it again. Really, I'm only like 3 or 4 missions in. As I said, I'm on the Catwoman mission again, the second Catwoman mission, where you got to go find Poison Ivy. So interesting. Yeah, I mean the combat still holds up. We got Gotham Knights coming up, and I think this plays better than Gotham Knights, to be honest, from what I can tell. Anyway, I haven't played Gotham Knights, so but from gameplay, it looks like it's more smooth and more, yeah, holds up better. But we'll see. That should be interesting. That's
I
what
hope
I'm
it
really
gets
playing.
better, really. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, it's your birthday today, so that congratulations. On
Thanks.
surviving another year. It's one of those things. It's very difficult, isn't it, to everyone's just staying alive.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk about some of your birthday stuff today as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just like turned 35 years old, and which means I think I would be definitely middle aged. But I just got a birthday cake I baked myself, so I tried things like doing a drip cake. But I think some of the toppings
Nice.
are like try to slide off the sides, and as my mum said, it's just like
Lush.
melting. But I just got this, and also gonna celebrate with the takeaway out. They just thinking
Nice.
like as if I would go out and have a nice restaurant meal, and I'm like, no, I think I'll be happy to be in. But it's really difficult because if you're somewhere around West Cornwall, it's
Yeah.
just like you see more restaurants than takeaways. Just imagine you're in at home and somehow you
Yeah.
don't have access to a lot of the takeaway, and you're surrounded with restaurants. And it's even more difficult when people like to eat outside in restaurants too, and it's just like puts pressure on me.
Yeah, I much prefer takeaway myself, to be honest, if I had a choice over the two. Yeah, I mean, do you know what takeaway you're having?
Chinese, easy.
Oh, I like Chinese. Chinese is good.
But
Yeah,
a lot of the places like Chinese, for instance, you're most likely expected to visit the place anyway to get a takeaway too. So
no.
it's like you phone in, order the takeaway, and get it. Whereas these days, like if you go to somewhere like Plymouth, for instance, I don't know how close you were to Cardiff, but you can actually like use things like delivery or Just Eat to order takeaway, and it will like deliver it to you. Sadly, I don't have that kind of service. I do have like Just Eat, but it's only like works with a few like cheaper restaurants or some sort like that. I don't know. It's just from my leg, it just doesn't look interesting for me to do that. Also, you have to pay like a bit extra for like deliveries. But when I last ordered Domino's, it's just like you now have to pay extra for a delivery charge. It's just like, okay.
It's very and Domino's is already very expensive for what it is. Yeah, that's weird. I try not to. I don't really use Just Eat or anything like that. But yeah, that's annoying. I can still that'd be a pain in the ass.
I do find that when it comes to pizza, like it's now like Sainsbury's is like really cheap, and you can buy them pre-made, so you can cook them in the oven, and you can just enjoy really good pizza for less. So I think that's what we've been aiming for instead of like going for Domino's.
Yeah,
Also, piles of salt.
I always enjoy a Domino's and all that, but the price is always way too much. I can't justify the price. It's like 3 or 4 times the price of a pizza in Asda's, as you just said. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So the Chinese tonight, exciting stuff. I want to eat a cake, but I can't have it because I'm on the other side of the country. It's annoying. It looks nice.
I think what I would do is I would share photos of the cake, and I don't know if we can put it in the vid, but yeah, I think I'll definitely share that too, so you can just imagine like really good stuff with it.
Yeah, it's not fair. I want some cake. I'll go buy some cake
on a stick. Get over to Cornwall. Anyway, as for the memories though, I mean, I don't know how you usually celebrate your birthday. Do you have like loads of parties?
Not really. I had parties when I was like 10 and stuff, but since I've got older, it's usually I go out and stuff. My 30th birthday was ridiculous. We basically went to London. So I saw Tenacious D and Book of Mormon, and then I went to Australia and spent the month with my sister and family. So that was my 30th, and then everything's been a bit of an anticlimax since then. It's like it's kind of peaked then. It's basically been like having as you've done, having a takeaway and watching a film. This year it was Top Gun, Maverick, and Chinese, I think, if I remember correctly.
At this time, I hope the Top Gun Maverick like comes out on Sky because that's what my parents have. But anyway,
it's good. Top Gun. It's a good film.
Interesting you mentioned these milestones because 30th is better than mine because I had to like travel, like go through some hard traffic. It's really difficult, and I just went over to like Cotswold to stay in the house, and it's really nice. Had some like birthday cupcakes and like enjoyed it by the canal. And when it gets really hot, the house turns into the sauna and just like melts chocolate. And that was when like shortly I just started to transition, and I didn't came out to my parents, so it was a bit uncomfortable for me to like go through this, but it's okay. But as you say, it's 10. You celebrated birthday at your place, do you?
Yeah, usually, yeah. I mean, I haven't. COVID's not helped, so the last couple of years have been very limited.
But when you were like 10, did you celebrate it in your place or something?
Yeah, when I was like 10, like I had like a birthday party. That's the last birthday party I remember having, really, when I was 10 years old, watching The Simpsons and stuff, and went swimming and stuff. That was like my around that age group, so I think that might be like 11, 12 for that one as well. But or bowling. You know, we used to have parties when I was like younger, like really young. But ever since I was like in my 20s and all that, I've just been more of a just chill with the family and go for a nice meal and basically. And maybe go over my friend Dean Smash Fiend's house, play some video games or whatever. There's not much really, but
anyway,
chill birthdays this year.
Well, I was 10 in 1997, and I think it was about like 2 years later you turned 10. I can tell you what happened to those dates. When I was 10. I was in the summer holiday, so when I came over, so we had to celebrate my birthday in I think it's the holiday cottage, which is somewhere in England. So I was away from home. I'd only like celebrated with family friends, so I didn't have much of a a bit of a small party really. There was like a really nice swimming pool and a sauna, and I just remember those kind of memories. But one big memory is that I had to decide between the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. I was like in Toys R Us, I was like deciding between, like, I had to decide between a Nintendo 64, and I was like, nah. Then I had to decide between Sega Saturn or the PlayStation. We had a bit of an argument with my parents because they say, like, Sega Saturn is not going to be popular anymore, and it'd be better if you go for the PlayStation. I was like, yeah, there was a bit of a fuss about. And that my sister is looking forward to, like, having to the PlayStation. So it's like trying to make a fuss and dealing with those things. Then we just spent a break, stay outside, and we had ice cream. So then I was then asked again whether I would make a decision. So I made a decision that I would be going for a Sega Saturn, and that's what we decided on. And immediately followed after that, my sister moaned, disappointed that I didn't go for the PlayStation in the end. So I just got a magic carpet, and I tried to go for Shinobi X, but I think I wasn't allowed to go for that. But I did get for like Toshinden, the fighting game. But that's what I got.
Oh, nice.
But this is a point where it could have been different. Like, I did regret not getting the PlayStation because that way I would have more games towards the millennium, and I think I would enjoy things like Metal Gear Solid. But instead, I already like got a few random games for the Sega Saturn, and like how do I put it? Been trying so many games on demo discs. It was like pretty good, and it was all before I got a Dreamcast in 1999. But when I was like 12, that was in 1999, and I celebrated in like a holiday cottage in France.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just got the action replay for the Nintendo Game Boy with the Legend of Zelda, and I was like got some like random bits when I was celebrating my birthday. But it was a joint birthday present with my sister because her birthday was like a week later than mine, so we had like a Sky set up and been like watching like Fox Kids, and then we just went over to the Holotuki cottage in France, enjoyed some nice pizzas, and we just had presents, and that's while we were on like holiday.
Nice.
So
that reminds me of my 13th when I was I think it was my 13th. We're looking at the dates now. When I got the GameCube, I was desperate for a GameCube, and it only just come out like 3 months earlier, and it was sold out everywhere. We went around town and went to every single electronic shop, and literally the last one we could go to had it. Had one GameCube in black. I'm like, yes, please, give me the GameCube. And then I just played Super Smash Brothers like non-stop for like 2 days.
Was this in like 2002?
2002, yeah. I remember that was like my first proper gaming like binge, like where I just played non-stop. I was like, remember falling asleep and still playing it with the controller in my hand, like like with my eyes closed.
Yeah,
I was so obsessed with Super Smash Brothers Melee back in the day. It was so good.
Yeah, I got the Nintendo GameCube. It's in black. Got it in August 2002, and I got it from like Dixon's. And it wasn't that difficult to get stock. I did remember playing on the demo with somebody there, but I just got it GameCube in black, and it comes with Super Smash Bros. Melee and Pikmin 3. So, and it's actually quite nice. But shortly before that
back in the day
is when I went over to the holiday cottage in France, and it was the last time we have to go to holiday cottage during my birthday. And it was a bit disappointing. Like, we went over the French cottage, so we just like had some times, and that's when my sister didn't join in for like for some holiday, so she had to like look after the house. So we just stayed over there. We played some GameCube, because I bought it over, so it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Then
It's got the handle for it to move as well. The GameCube's perfect for transportation. It's got a handle on it. What?
But when we're about to leave, that was when it was on my birthday that I had to leave, and somehow we didn't get a birthday cake in the end, so it's just like a bit disappointed, to be honest.
Oh.
But since then, we no longer have to go to holiday cottages and like don't have and celebrate at my place. But yeah, it's just much earlier because I didn't have parties since then, and like I didn't get on with the secondary school, and I didn't make any friends. So, but like a huge loner. I was literally unpopular at school, and somehow I just couldn't get parties because I didn't really trust anybody at school. I think I was like surrounded by people like being funny with me, and like somehow didn't get on with them. So unfortunately, I celebrated a lot of birthdays with my family. But I do remember there was a bigger one in 2005. Like I had a first HD TV, and it was really good for my Xbox 360. So I got it in 2005. But it was when a lot of my family members, including my cousins, just joined in to like celebrate birthday with me. So it was quite special. But since then, it's just like the same old and going to stuff like that. So
yeah, and I was going to mention with my birthday as well that my birthday is in the early June, so it always usually clashes with E3. So I E3 is like Game of Christmas, so I'm like a lot of the time I'm like my birthday I'm like, oh, what's Xbox announced? What's PlayStation announced? Like I remember one of my birthdays seeing the trailer for Halo 4. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it didn't turn out as great, but it was just like it was like a birthday present to myself, going like the Halo 4 trailer. And the Wii U I was super excited for on my birthday, and I was like, I can't wait to get this. No one bought it. No one bought a Wii U apart from me.
Well, now you mention it, I got the Wii U for my birthday back in 2013 with Pikmin 3. It was really special.
Like the Wii U.
I transferred my Wii stuff, including the Virtual Console stuff on it too. And it was like currently in the cupboard back in my mum and dad's home.
Yeah, that was one of my birthdays. Is I had a Wii U and just played Mario Kart all day and Link to the Past as well. So that was fun. That was a couple of years ago.
But to add the context to this, we started like going to holiday cottages during my birthday, and it was like back in like I think it was 1994, or 1995. I'm not sure.
Right.
But that was like we had to go to the holiday and like celebrate my birthday, and was like not particularly happy about it. So it's just like every year for like about I think it was about like 8 years or some sort, we always have to like go out on holiday. We we go to Toys R Us and get some stuff on my birthday, and then we just go over to the holiday cottage, spend it, and just got back. So, but I think I remember this like 2001. It's just like really special because we went over to Scotland, and my birthday is on the moment we have to leave and travel up to for my birthday. So there was like, oh, there's a birthday cake with Ash Ketchum's face in, so that's interesting. And then had a bunch of birthday presents, including Sonic Adventure 2 for Dreamcast. Then on the way during my birthday, we went to Cribs Causeway. We just went over and bought a stuff on game. I got a pink Pusher Game Boy Advance, and it comes with F-Zero, and I think there was another one too. But yeah, and it's just when this is definitely what I call a birthday, because I got that, and even like enjoyed some Burger King, I believe, from Cribs Causeway, and I think it's just what made it good. But as soon as I went over to Scotland to stay in a flat, and I think it was like near to Dumfries.
Okay.
And then I was like playing Sonic Adventure 2 on a bigger TV, and it's like, wow, it's really good. Then my dad came over and got mad because he thinks that playing on the Dreamcast all the time is not holiday.
I mean, I kind of get that, but I'm like, I'm a gamer. I like to do that. I like to spend my time playing video games. Yeah, I mean, a lot of video games just like tied to my birthday memories. Thinking about it, because like just getting games. I always used to get games for my birthday. That's literally all I'd ever get. It was like Pokemon Red with getting the green Game Boy color. I was like, ooh, and Pokemon Red's like one of my favorite games of all time. So it's just one of those things that yeah, it just
Gosh,
takes me
Jelly.
back. I'm nostalgic for that now.
Yeah, because I got a Game Boy Color which is in purple, and when they just
Yeah.
announced those 4 vibrant colors, I was like so jealous, especially of anyone that got those, because teal, lime, and magenta is like so good colors.
Yeah.
Then
The
during
green one.
1999, I got like a banana pack that contains like a rechargeable white, yellow rechargeable pack and all
Oh,
those
nice.
things, including the carry case. And I had to use it with my purple Game Boy Color.
I played so much Pokemon back in the day. It's ridiculous.
In 1998, it's just like I remember celebrating my birthday in Germany, and then I think there was a bit of confusion, but we ended up getting a donut-shaped gatto, and just like we put a parasol through it so we can have slices of it. And that was when I got a Game Boy printer for my Game Boy Pocket, because I originally asked for the Game Boy Pocket for Christmas in red.
Yeah.
I did buy it from Amazon in the end, but they ran out of it everywhere, so we only managed to get Game Boy Pocket in yellow, and that's what I got. I still have it, and it's actually, I love that model, and I've been playing a few games on it recently.
Nice.
But we got it in like for Christmas, and then the birthday next year is just like there's a Game Boy Pocket camera where you can take photos with it.
Yeah.
And I had to get in yellow because it matches with my Game Boy Pocket as well as the Game Boy printer. So it's like, yeah, just went over there, opened those on my birthday, and yeah, it's pretty good. Have lots of fun. I don't know if it's still got some old pictures on there, but I might blow the dust off it one day.
That's
then the
amazing.
next day, 18th of August, went around Germany, and someone pinched my neck because she thought I was being naughty. And I was in the shop. I was only looking at things, but she thought I was stealing stuff. I wasn't. And I just got really scared. So then we just went back to my house. I got a Game Boy printer. It got jammed a bit, so I just tried to put it in a certain way. Then it just got broke. And somehow when my parents checked it, it's like, it's not working. Then I just had a huge fit of a panic attack and got really upset because my Game Boy printers broke. Then, when I sent it in for like repairs, Nintendo like sent it back, and they said like, "Oh, it's actually not. It's actually working still." And yeah, it's actually working. So I've been printing some more. Got some spare real rolls of paper which I still haven't used. But yeah, it's just like got a Game Boy printer. But yeah, it reminds me. I think I need to bring that out and see if I can print more stuff with it. Put on Instagram.
Yeah. Selfies.
But it's actually one of the first games I got. Well, it's the first game I got where, because it's developed by Game Freak, I was introduced to like Pokemon. So it's got like Pikachu and Mew. And I just found those critters out and I thought, interesting. And that's before the Pokemon came out the year later. So it's just like really interesting.
Yeah.
But as for the birthday parties you had, I didn't had huge things like bowling and stuff like that. Like, I think of early birthday parties I had, as far as I remember, it's like in 1992 and 1993. Yeah. And I think, like, I had like birthday parties, and I think one of them was like set in like an activity house type of thing. I don't know.
All right.
But the early birthday parties I remember is back in like 1992 and 1993, I believe. And I think that's when all the kids came over. But since then, it's just like got quieter and quieter. Spend more time with the family. Quieter.
Same with me. I was thinking. I said bowling, but no, I was thinking about it. It was Quasar. So have you ever done Quasar with the guns?
Yes. I've done that so much.
It's so good.
There's definitely one in like somewhere in Penzance where you go to some Bramell's mill and you just go into one floor and you just like discover Quasar, and we just often play in there.
So good.
But it's also when I found Street Fighter 2, and there's another game called Three Wonders, and it's like, wow, so much good. Plus you get to play 10-pin bowling over there too, so happy times. And that's why like when I saw the Three Wonders come out in like Capcom second arcade stadium, arcade stadium second, or I don't know. I just bought that, and yeah, just like been having a lot of fun with it. So yeah,
Yeah. For kids who don't know what Quasar is, it's like Call of Duty but real life, basically. You all have plastic guns. You go around shooting each other. You have like little targets on your chest and stuff. God, I used to love that so much. It was so cool.
plus it's
Oh,
got refill stations in, so you just stick your gun in, replenish ammo, and make sure you don't get shot in the back.
yeah.
Why is not in Call of Duty or anything like that? That would just make it like extra fun. Well, not.
I used to just run to the opposite person's base and just start shooting in the hole in the ceiling where you meant to like aim the shot, like pew pew. Because I'm so tall, I literally could just reach it. It's funny. It's good.
Yeah, but
it's
anyway,
good times. Good times.
to sum this up, like I think there was a lot of birthday memories, but a lot of the
Oh, yeah.
birthdays I had during my childhood were in holiday cottages, and I think it's just really affected it. Although I do remember I had birthdays when I was at university degrees. I had one like gamer camp. Some of them are like bitter enough to not sing the happy birthday though, which is not cool. But apart from that, it's all right. I think it was given a much warmer welcome than I expected. Then I had a birthday over like Famous Launchpad, and it's like, yeah, we just had a nice birthday, and then we had something special around it. But but then most of the time it's like celebrating with my family, especially with my parents. So, but I can say that I know this is an Xbox podcast, but I do find that the gaming memories are like mostly Nintendo because I keep receiving Nintendo stuff
Same.
for my birthday.
Same.
But
most of my memories are Nintendo, but Xbox is the newest. I know it's 20 years old, but it does feel like it's still new to me. Xbox. It's weird to say that. Maybe because we're
yes,
old.
yeah, I just often like get Xbox stuff for Christmas. But
Yeah.
last year, I was like saving up to get some money off the Design Labs controller. So I just got this through, and it was delivered just around my birthday last year. And it was like, I got a really nice fancy controller, like playing on it. Because I showed you the controller last week.
Yeah, you
But
did,
shortly
yeah.
afterwards, as soon as we finished the podcast, I went in to play Two Point Campers, which I forgot to mention too. I was like going through it for like about half an hour or the hour, and then somehow the camera just keeps drifting up, and then I thought I will be managing that, and then I just like I couldn't control the menus because the D-pad's too sensitive, and because of it, you control it with the right stick, it just keeps pointing up, so I just couldn't even play the damn game. So, and that's when I found out, yeah, the controller's definitely busted. So, like with the warranty ending on like 18th August, and it's got like a few active controllers and a thumbstick drift, I had no option to like try to get this through with Microsoft. I can actually apply to get this controller replaced and send it over to Microsoft. So I just put it in a package, print off a label, stick on it. Thanks to my dad who like printed the label for me. But when I stuck it on, put it in one of the boxes I have, and sent it over to the UPS point, it was delivered over to the Microsoft Center, which should be around in Daventry, but I'm still waiting for them to respond and say they received the controller. So I'm still waiting on them to receive the controller and start doing the replacement for it. But because the warranty is like tomorrow on the 18th, I just have to find out whether I can still get the replacement for free. But it's just 50-50 really. So hopefully they can like got this sorted out. But at least I can like got this stuff straight away, because you only like have 1 month after making this request for you to send the controller over. So yeah, I just sent it over. So it's just like really good. But now I'm just waiting for a refresh controller, get the exact controller scheme, because I think it's the first time I sent it over for the repairs, and that's when like I got a faulty controller and need to get it replaced. But there's a few interesting things with it. It's just that I've used the service before because I sent in the Xbox One over to Microsoft to have it repaired, because the 3D graphics part of a graphics card is failing. As soon as you launch Halo 5, because it's got 3D in the menu, it just crashes. So I had to send the console off for repairs. And that was a Halo 5 Special Edition. And they sent me a new system that is a Halo 5 Special Edition. But since then, I've replaced it with Xbox One X, and that's like really good. So,
nice.
But it also repeats history because, like, back in 1998, I had to send off the Game Boy printer for repairs. And yeah, I think this is just definitely one of those things where I had to send my accessories over for repair too. So, yeah, fun.
I've never done that. I need to do that. If I get Joy-Con drift or something like that, I always just go, "Oh, just buy a new controller." I probably should just get it repaired. I need to do that really in the future.
Do you have that on your Switch?
No, I don't think so. I replaced the Joy-Con since they got launched, so they haven't got drift at the moment, thank God. My PS4 had Joy-Con drift. I went through 4 different PS4 controllers, so I just bought new ones instead of replacing them. So yeah, I wore the first one I bought. I wore the thumbnails out, like the thumbsticks, and the rubber just came off them. I don't even know how that happened. Second one, I played too much Destiny, and the right trigger got stuck. And then the latest one I got, it had a little bit of Joy-Con drift. So when I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, the camera was just turning slowly, and I was like, no. So I need to be more careful with my controllers. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a DualShock 4, and their thumbsticks are not well designed. No. I find the grips on them to be a bit slippery, so I got Joy-Con covers from them. But I currently got some on the PlayStation Special Edition, where it's all dressed up in PlayStation 1 colours. So that's what I got.
Ooh,
so
pretty.
So good so far. But
I
did remember back in I think it was in 2003 or 2001. I'm not sure whether it's 2002. But I got a DualShock 2 Red, and it was to work with a GameCube for a special adapter, so you can use DualShock 2 on your GameCube. Then I was like, I got problems with it, and they need to have this replaced with a new one. So I went back to game, got it replaced with that one, and it's been working since. But yeah, some of the DualShock 2 controllers also have functionality issues too.
Yeah, whenever I get like a mad cat or like a different type of one, they don't seem to last very long at all. So yeah, I'm not very good at. I go through controllers quite because I'm a big person. I'm like a big guy, and I go through controllers like smash and controller smash. Xbox controllers seem to last longer with me though, even though I use them quite a lot because they're quite sturdy and they're well designed. So I feel also the PlayStation's a bit more flimsy.
It's just one Design Labs controller that I had problems with. But I think I noticed it had problems in the first place because it's a bit more difficult to turn on, and pressing the A button sometimes registers 2, but on a rare chance. Also, it doesn't work with the play and charge kit. It doesn't work well with the controller and doesn't hold a charge. So I thought this one is a bit bust, so I had to use AA batteries. But as soon as I send off the Design Labs controller over to Microsoft, I used a black controller that came with the Xbox Series X, and no problems. I've even been using play and charge kit battery with it, and it just works.
So it's just the Design Labs one just doesn't want to work for you then, I guess.
I would say it's experimental because it comes from the lab.
Hey, the zinger. So, should we talk about the news a little bit? There's not much news this week. Bit of a quiet week. So, we're in the year 2022, aka the year of delays. We've had another 2 delays again this month. So it's a Halo, Hogwarts Legacy, and Evil West delayed. Do you care about either of these games? Because I don't really care about either of them.
Well, the West one, never heard of it. And Hogwarts Legacy, I'm not that interested in because I don't really want to support J.K. Rowling.
No, I don't either. I can't stand it. But I don't know. It just doesn't look. I'm not fussed on it. I don't think it looks very good. But more games delayed. This year's been a bit barren. Every Xbox game has been delayed, and But it seems like a lot of games have been delayed. I'm still shocked that God of War is still supposed to be coming out this year. Are we gonna? Is Callisto Protocol gonna get delayed? Is Plague Tale gonna get delayed? I don't know. I'm hoping Plague Tale doesn't get delayed because that's like the one game I'm most looking forward to, and Higher Life. I'm hoping those two games are gonna be okay. But yeah, it's been. I mean, we've got the COVID, isn't it? It's still kicking our ass. Every game seems to be delayed this year. Next year's gonna be bloody brilliant, for this year, not so much.
And yeah, everyone's still thinking as if everything's back to normal, but then the COVID stuff still lingers. Like, I mean, both of us are still afraid to like leave the house, and secondly, it's just like you still have like COVID effects that affects like on production. But it just reminds me, like, TwitchCon, it says asks for the mask mandate. One of the members of Ace Clan is just like, hosted a different party away from TwitchCon, so anyone do not have to wear masks or get vaccinated to go in it. And it's just like, that is just so arrogant. But yeah, you still have to like deal with the mask mandates. RTX this year, you're required to use masks, and specific kind of masks. So you have to like wear a certain types of masks. Because I wear the mask that's like more a tube that goes on my neck, but apparently it's just like you're not allowed to wear. So it's quite a very strict mandate on it. So, but yeah, it just shows like there's still this COVID thing affecting everything, and that means we're still going to get delays.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why people don't wear masks. It's just one of those things. Or people wear. I still don't get how people can still wear a mask and to have their nose out. They like still don't understand the basic logic of having to wear a mask. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's such a simple thing to do. It doesn't affect you that much, and it keeps you safe, it keeps other people safe. I don't understand why you wouldn't do it. Why people make such a fuss about it, I don't know. It's like, in my freedom, I don't have to wear a mask. Freedom. It's like, no, what? Like, okay, yeah, technically you don't have to wear a mask, but don't be an asshole. Just wear one, jeez.
Yeah, because the reason that people have to wear masks or take precautions, it's not because for yourself. Wherever you deal with the COVID, it's up to you. But you just have to be thinking of other people too, and how they feel about it. Like, they have to wear masks to protect themselves, and they should be protected in the same way by others. But when someone's like, hate mask mandate and even don't care about vaccines, it just means like they don't really care. People like get sick and get close to the deathbed, and that's even worse.
Yeah, they just want to be them, you know.
Anyway, I think enough of this one. So, shall we move into the news before we get a bit political about like mask stuff?
Yeah. So the only other news really is there's a Disney/Marvel showcase going up next month. We might see Indiana Jones. I doubt it. We'll probably see the Black Panther open world game that's been rumored. Yeah, I mean, any Marvel games you'd be excited to see? I mean, Midnight Suns was delayed. Speaking of delays, Midnight Suns was delayed last episode, wasn't it? So, are you excited to see Midnight Suns again, or any Star Wars stuff? Like anything?
I think I'm most likely seeing more movies and Disney Plus announcements, because I think both of these things are like top of the list.
Yeah,
and I'm not even expecting games to come out of it.
I mean, they're supposed to. They did say this is mainly a game showcase, so there should be some gaming stuff there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why it's in the news. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing some things. I'm hoping that they're going to announce some cool stuff. I would love to see Indiana Jones. I don't know where we're ever going to see that though. It just seems to be in the distance. Star Wars projects. You know, if there's a Mandalorian Xbox game, I'd be totally down for that. That was like rumored. That was rumored a while back. Yeah, so we're probably going to see Star Wars Survive, which would be cool.
I hope it's not like Metal Gear Survive, because that's bad.
No, it's the sequel to what's it called?
Star Wars Arenas or some sort?
No, Star Wars. What's it called?
Battlefront.
No, and what's it called? The newest Star Wars game, the good Star Wars game. That's like Dark Souls.
Oh, Star Wars Fallen Order, is it?
Fallen Order. Yeah, it's the sequel to that. Fallen Order. That's it. Yeah. So
because when I think of like Star Wars Survive, it sounded like a battle royale game.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not that. No, no, it's a sequel to Fallen Order. So that looks interesting. I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot of good Disney and Marvel IPs, so any of that stuff would be good to see. So, yeah, so let's move on to our topic of the show. The top of the show. Ooh. Xbox and Sony are loggerheads. They're at each other. Boom. The console wars are back, ladies and gentlemen. The console wars never died, but now they are in full force. Sony's like, Xbox are too powerful. Call of Duty would losing Call of Duty would be the end of the world. And then Xbox is like, no, we suck. We came third. We didn't sell as much as you. You'd just be ridiculous. We're rubbish. Give us Call of Duty. We need it. Both of them are kind of basically just like being like, oh, no, you're much better than me. You're much better than me. We need the Call of Duty. And then PlayStation's like, no, you don't need Call of Duty. You're so great without it. It's like the weirdest insults ever.
Because we somehow like got a news about Call of Duty. I think it was last week or two, and we're talking about like Sony afraid of like Call of Duty, but now it's just actually exploded because I've been looking at the news sites and it says like Microsoft claims Sony is giving developers blocking rights to keep their games on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's another
one. And now
one.
there's like Brazilian paper saying PlayStation 4 sales are doubled than Xbox One. And I was like, really? And then there's like Microsoft now believes that Call of Duty's exclusively is not profitable. But come on, I mean, it's just like all this shenanigans, and it's just make this huge fuss over this Activision deal. But why can't just like Microsoft go ahead with the deal? What's holding them back?
It's ridiculous. They're both being really weird about it. It's a bit over the, but I feel like obviously the truth is somewhere in the middle between the two of them. They're both kind of being ridiculous. Like PlayStation, as I said, PlayStation's like going, if we lose Call of Duty, it's the end of the world. We're all going to collapse. Our business is going to die. It's the end. It's over. It's the Armageddon. And then if Xbox is just like, oh, if we don't get Activision, we're going to collapse. PlayStation's already got way more than us. They already double us. So they're already way better. Oh my god, it's the end of the world. It's like, guys, calm down. It's like, it's just Call of Duty. It's not that big a deal. Like, it's
that's
just
what
like...
Phil Spencer said. So Spencer said that they don't want anyone to be fighting in the console wars. But now it's just like as if everyone's like behaving like children or some sort.
It's hilarious, yeah. I mean, I kind of like stoke the flames of the console wars quite a lot, but it's just more like for fun, really. But it's like it's weird to hear this coming from the actual console owners. That they're both kind of they're literally talking about each other now. It takes me back to like the good old days when Nintendo and Sega were like at it, lockerheads, when Sega was like going, Sega does what Nintendo don't and stuff like that and all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly, because I think in the UK you see this pirate Sega TV and it's like really cool. Yeah. Like you have this really like it used to be like you had a reaction to the Sega ad where someone comes in for a Razer I think it's like a Razer cart, and you show you all these Mega Drive games, and then you initially felt it's just looking weird. You should definitely see like Sega TV adverts where you have the guy who's a barber. He like wears his fez hat and like speaks into the microphone, like you do on the YouTube channels. You speak into the microphone, except you don't have like a fez. But you just like have all this excitement, and you have all those games, and it was like so edgy compared to Nintendo. It's like you have Rick Mail is like talking about how awesome he is and how he's getting all of those games. And I think Nintendo was initially trying hard. But if you check in America, Sega has been so aggressive in their ads, Game Gear ads, Mega Drive ads, and they just mocked Nintendo. There's even a drag race where you've got Sega Genesis. That's what they call Mega Drives in the US.
Yeah.
Sega Genesis, back to the vehicle, drive off, and they has Sonic, and then you have like another vehicle that's not so fast and has Mario Kart on it. It's just like playing some funny music with it, and it just shows like blast processing, and it makes games better. But it's just so fake.
It's
I have to admit,
hilarious.
it's still fake to me. Even though it was like grew up with Sega, I would have been the one who's like got Nintendo and Sony instead of Sega. But I stuck with Sega for a very long time until I just say, no, I'm not interested in Sega because they seem to be failing a lot. But you are like the Nintendo lad, so
Oh yeah, for
you're
sure.
just-
Nintendo
so how's
boy.
this like for you?
I also remember when they had Crash Bandicoot outside of Nintendo's offices with like a microphone, like a loudspeaker, talking trash. It's hilarious. I just think it's funny because obviously Nintendo was the big dog, still is. They're the ones that everyone's kind of intimidated by, so they had to kind of try and take pot shots at them. But
Yeah, because it's interesting that you mentioned about Crash Bandicoot using a megaphone for the Nintendo's offices because I think once in like San Francisco or something like that, you have Nintendo office right next to the Sega office, and it's just like right next to each other. So it must be weird. But yeah,
That's
there's a
weird.
book called Console Wars which I read through. It's just like dramatized, like as if they've been treated like Game of Thrones, but it's focused on like doing. They got some like Nintendo stuff, but they just spoke about like how Sega got. I think it's a Kabaski or something. I can pronounce his name, but he's been doing so much on the marketing. And you have Tom Clancy or some sort. I don't know. I can't pronounce the names, but they were like doing so much marketing for Sega. How they try to get the games out, and so far, some of the successes didn't do well, and how they try to get certain licenses. And I think in the end, it's just like, Sega is like pitting against Nintendo, but it was when the Sega Saturn they got it, and they tried to rush it to release it early, which didn't give enough game developers time to develop games for the Sega Saturn. So they just announced the E3 because they worried, like, because it initially had 2D hardware, they had to announce it with a 3D graphics engine, and they just trying so hard to convince people that Sega Saturn is better than the PlayStation. And technically, they have a faster processor than the PlayStation, but they're trying to say, this is the Sega Saturn, you should definitely get it. Then, immediately after, someone from Sony, who is like not still new to the games industry, despite they made peripherals for Nintendo, they said that Sony PlayStation, price point, and that's when everyone cheered because PlayStation is going to turn out cheaper. And it is the first really games console.
I think I remember that. It's like I can't remember the price now. I think it was like $1.99 or something. He just basically walked onto the stage and just went $1.99 and then just walked off. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Oh my god. It's just like I'm thinking about the console wars now. It's like this thing with the Marvel films that Iron Man always creates his own enemies. It's essentially the same thing with console wars. It seems like people make their own enemies from by working with different companies. Like PlayStation was born through Nintendo wanting to have a disc adapter onto the Nintendo console. So basically, because
Super Nintendo almost have a disc drive of it too, but nope, that didn't happen. But Sega Mega Drive did. They have a Mega CD and 52X, which as a child I did not get, and it's like, no, it's not happening.
So that's where Sony basically came from. Is they worked with Sony and they're like, no, we don't want this disc drive. We don't like the idea of it. We want to go with someone else. I think they said we were going to go with Samsung in the end, and then that didn't really work out. But then that's how the PlayStation was born, and then go 5-10 years later, PlayStation were like going, oh, we can have a computer in the living room by having a PS2, and then Xbox were like, nah, that's not happening. You're not having we want the PC in the living room. We want to be the first people to have a PC in the living room, and then they built the Xbox. So it's like because they all created each other by like doing stupid things. Exactly. It's hilarious.
Because it's interesting that
Oh,
PlayStation and Microsoft, they're at wits' end, and then it's like they got game consoles out, which Microsoft initially thought they got the PC ready, and they even helped out with Sega Dreamcast, but now they just got out Xbox, since Sega's like already out of the hardware market. And guess what? One of the first announcements Sony made about the PlayStation, Sega Saturn was literally destroyed. They didn't have Sonic games. Tried to get Sonic Extreme on it, but got cancelled. And it just becomes like a really like a destroyed console. And yet, 2 years after that announcement, or 3 years, in 1997, for my birthday, got a Sega Saturn, and that's despite like all the frustrations. And now I'm just like, I could have got a PlayStation in the end. So
I like the PlayStation. The original PlayStation was decent, yeah. Sega Dreamcast, super underrated console as well. And this is why I want Xbox to buy Sega. Let's get the consoles back up and going again. Let's do it. Let's get it proper. Let's get Sonic talking smack about PlayStation. Let's do it.
Yeah, get Microsoft to buy many games companies. But I just don't know. Like, they got an Activision deal, but at the moment, it just seems the Brazilian courts are trying to like judge on this whole thing, and it shows like Microsoft and Sony duking out over things, and they're just like, why is all this fuss? I mean, can Microsoft just like buy Activision already? I mean, is this what's holding them back?
It seems like it. I mean, Xbox is still third place in the market, and they're still like they're not close to PlayStation, even if they buy this. When it comes to like market share, so they need it's like I don't understand why it's taking so long. Hopefully, it will get done by like quite soon, but we will see.
Yes.
I mean, they're all making such a big fuss about Call of Duty, but Candy Crush and Diablo Immortal make so much more money than Call of Duty, and like their mobile games. So it's just like surely that should be what you're concerned about, PlayStation. They're like basically they're going if. It's like, if Call of Duty was on Game Pass, it would destroy our business, blah blah blah. It's like it's your fault for being dinosaurs, PlayStation. Like Xbox has come up with this brand new system, Game Pass, that's like innovative and it's getting people excited about gaming and it's a really good deal. And it's like instead of going, now they're doing PlayStation Plus, but instead of just going with it and doing their own system and doing they're just trying to stop Xbox from doing new things. Essentially, it's like their idea is to like stop Xbox innovating instead of actually innovating themselves, and it's really annoying. Yeah. It's like we want to keep selling people games for $70 forever, and we don't want any competition on that. That's what they're fighting about. It's just really annoying. So I don't want to pay £70 for games. I'd rather get Game Pass, thank you very much. Like that's why I'm on Xbox.
Now I just had a look at the PG charts, and on their website, at the moment, Xbox Series XS has sold a total of 16 million units, compared to PlayStation 5, which sold about 21 million. Now remember, it covers both X and S for the Xbox. And it's based on the PlayStation 5, based on the discless or the disc editions. Yeah. But you'll be surprised that despite it released in 2017 compared to the 2020 consoles, Switch is still in the race and has sold a total of 110 million units at the moment.
Yeah, the Switch is the Switch is just a monster. It destroys everything. Like that's my argument when it comes to Call of Duty. Every time it's like, if we don't have Call of Duty, we won't succeed. Nintendo Switch doesn't have Call of Duty, most successful console like ever. So shut up.
Now I just checked over, and North America is usually a good market for Xbox, and it's also where Sony has moved their headquarters over there. Well, according to this hardware chart, according to 30th July 2022, Xbox Series XS has sold 83,000 units compared to PlayStation 5 71,000. But in Europe, it's different because Series X and S sold about 50,000 compared to PlayStation 5's 84,000. and they sold more units than Japan, which PlayStation 5 sold 39,000 compared to Series XS being like close to 1,000. But if you compare it to the Switch, it's like all equalized and they sold a lot of units. But it's a Europe where somehow they prefer the PlayStation 5 because they sold about 10,000 more than Europe. And it's actually quite a good, environment for the PlayStation. So, if anything, like I know there's some like bickering dealing with the North American markets, but I think they should be focusing on Europe because at the moment it appears as if Sony is winning on that regard.
Yeah, I mean, Sony seems to be winning on all fronts, really. So I feel like the Call of Duty thing, if anything, is going to bring balance to the force. Like basically get Xbox and PlayStation maybe even on a level playing field a little bit. I mean, that's what we want. I just want a bit more parity, you know. I love my Xbox, so I don't really care if PlayStation is that anymore. It's one of the things.
Difference
It's weird,
between
isn't it?
me and you is you got a PlayStation 5 too, but I'm sticking with the Xbox, and I'm not really willing to get a PlayStation 5. I already got a Nintendo Switch and an Xbox, but I've been playing so much on Xbox that I only use Switch to play Paladins on it, and that's it. Because I just feel like Xbox Game Pass really helps.
It
like
does.
having the subscription service like that means you can play any game you can think of, and it's just really nice if it comes to the Nintendo Switch. But speaking of which, PC Game Pass is rumored to have Death Stranding on the PC too, which means once the Sony 6 exclusive comes over there, it's just like, interesting.
I mean, I have my PS5, but it doesn't really collect dust. I barely use my PS5. I mean, that's what you were saying. Is I don't. Honestly, I don't feel like there should be much of a reason for you to buy one yet. Spider-Man 2 is probably the game I'm most looking forward to, and that's not out yet. So when Spider-Man 2 comes out, I'm going to be very excited.
And did you play much on your Switch?
I always play my Switch. I haven't played it in a while, but I've used it on my Switch a lot.
Which games?
Like Mario Maker, like all the Pokemon games, Mario Party, Strikers, Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously, Metroid, what's it called? Dread. I play a lot of Switch back in the day. I got Bayonetta downloaded, so that's when that comes out. That's coming out like next month, so I'm excited for that. Bayonetta free. But obviously, Pokemon. I've already pre-ordered Violet, so I'm ready to rock and roll with that. But Xbox is my main console of choice, as we've both said. Game Pass is such a really good deal breaker for me. I don't see how you can play Game Pass and then go back to being on a PlayStation and paying £70 a game. I just don't know how you can do it.
Well, for me, Nintendo Switch, I played a bunch on it because of like Animal Crossing, which honestly,
Animal Crossing,
Bayonetta 2, and then next year, I think the most time I did is like play on. I think it was on. I did like play the DLC for the Pokemon Shield. No, I think it was for Pokemon Swords. But I did get Pokemon. The 2021.
Yeah.
The main time I played on the Switch is for Metroid Dread, and that was a great game.
I love that game.
Since then, I have rarely played on like Nintendo Switch, and I think part of it's just like I tend to rely on the digital store. But the games you have to pay about £40 for it. And that's even for the bigger Nintendo titles that I should have been playing. Like, I should be like playing the likes of like I want to play Link's Awakening remake, and I want to play certain games on it, but I just don't want to keep spending like lots of money for each game. And I mean, I could like try this go for these games. So I think I might join up the Switch Online. Like, if I'm gonna pre-order like. Go for like Pokemon Violet, then I could go for something like Link's Awakening remake. but there's also like Pokemon Legends Arceus, and at the moment it's shaping up to be one of the games of the year. So
It's good.
I might
Pokemon
probably
Arceus.
get that instead. But it's just
Yeah.
really hard because since we don't have loads of money in our bank accounts. It's just like we have to make a conscious, really difficult decision to decide which game you want to get on your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So
But
with the
Switch, I did remember that Switch is like really nice back in like 2017. It's just like
yeah,
it's really inventive. It's just a bit of a shame that you really have to be really careful with which games you can get on it.
yeah. With the Switch as well, I don't know if you realise that is if you have a subscription, you can buy 2 games for £80, I think it is. I mean, or it might be cheaper than that. There's a deal you can buy. You get like 2 passes, so you can buy 2 exclusives, and that's how I usually buy my Switch games. It works out cheaper that way. So you save about 15-20 quid at a time doing it that way. So it's like a voucher deal, which makes it cheaper to buy games. So that is something that you guys can bear in mind. Obviously with Xbox, everything that's on Game Pass, you can play on Game Pass, and also everything that was on Game Pass previously is all you get discounted for. So that's also worth doing. But I mean, if you're money conscious and you're short on cash, I don't know why you wouldn't get Xbox over anything else. Xbox is definitely the best value in gaming at the moment. It's Game Pass. Get a Series S and get Game Pass, and you're good to go. You should be able to enjoy yourself for the foreseeable future on quite a budget. So that's the logic with that.
No, I think we just went fun there, but I think that we only discovered that Microsoft and Sony are just fighting over this, and I think it's going to persist into next week.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to be like on the podcast next week, so yeah, I think I'll be taking a break.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try and do a special episode next week, but I'm not going to promise you guys that until I know if I can do it or not. But yeah, so it might be a week off next week, or it might be a special episode. We will see. But yeah, I think that's it for this week, really. So anything else you wanted to discuss before we end the episode?
Well, aren't you going to sing me a happy birthday?
I was going to say happy birthday. You want me to sing you? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Alice. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Thanks.
Woo! Happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday. Enjoy your cake that I'm really annoyed that I can't have. Enjoy your day. And we will see you maybe next week or the week after. Probably the week after. This was fun. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And until next time, too sweet.
I just hope I won't get too hungover by the time I return. But anyway, take care.
Don't do that. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.